Welcome to Music Plus Gamecast, home of original music and gaming discussion. Today we are going to be comparing two of my favorite games. One is Infamous Second Son by Sucker Punch, and the other one is actually Spider-Man by Insomniac Studios, or games rather. What we're going to do is look at the graphics, and surprisingly, Second Son holds up pretty damn well. Let's start off with the NPCs. Here's a nice slow-mo zoomed in shot of a regular NPC in Second Son. Pretty decent details for a 7-year-old game here. We're going to actually go into Spider-Man as well. Also zoomed in to hell. What you'll notice is that the lighting, I think, and I'm not sure, but Spider-Man has screen space shadows. And I think that's the difference between the two games. Let's look at object density right now. What you see here is about as much as what you're going to get for the density in Infamous Second Son. What it does a lot is a lot of particles at once, where Spider-Man doesn't. But what Spider-Man does do really, really nicely is a whole bunch of NPCs and traffic and cars. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. One thing I will say that the NPC animations or cycles that they have are very comparable. When it rains, they have their umbrellas or they run. Typical open world shit. I didn't find anything out of the ordinary that would suggest otherwise, to be perfectly honest with you. Next, we are going to look at the cutscenes, and I'm just going to shut up and let you see this.
All that matters is
Actually, I'm not going to shut up. But look at this.
I'm one of them now.
You are not.
Look at these
One of
wrinkles.
those.
I've never seen that shit
BI
before in any
bioterrorists
fucking
who are
game
killing people hidden.
other than this.
Now that you quit smoking,
Decent light effects.
tell people when you come
Nice
up here.
facial expressions. You know,
good
but damn, but look at the wrinkles though.
Just happen to have smoke.
That's
coming
fucking
out.
crazy.
It's the whole reason why we're in this is smoke coming out of my fingers.
I do like the acting though, and the acting is nice. It
Don't
really is.
go down that road.
Don't go down that road. That's really nice. Reminds me of a relative of mine.
If you're gonna be such a buzzkill, I'm gonna have
That I need a break from their crap.
And then we go back to Spider-Man.
Fair
I
enough.
feel like I should ate that gum.
So, why'd you
I
call?
mean, the facial
date
expressions and the
the policeman's
facial
ball?
animations are really nice.
Black and white suit.
Insomniac really knows
No
how
balls
to
or anything.
model a face.
We spent too
At
much
least
integrating
they
Oscorp's
were at this
surveillance tech.
point in time
Worth it though,
ahead
right?
of
It was.
Sucker Punch.
Till an
We'll
hour
say
ago.
that. They were ahead of it.
The system went down.
Pretty
City
decent. Now let's talk about object details. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there are a lot of cars on the road, along with pedestrians. There are screen space reflections for the reflections of the cars, more so than Second Son. There are screen space reflections for the cars and I mean not cars for the environment in Second Son, but just not for the cars or windows, which makes a pretty big difference. Like I said, that on the ground, you can clearly see it. But anyway, let's look at draw distance. I wish I could have gotten more captured footage. I was going to do one thing where I was on top of the Space Needle. It was too obscured, and I really couldn't get everything that I wanted to get the way that I wanted it. And this is probably going to be, I mean, I'm on a Space Needle now, but this is probably going to be as good as it's going to get. I will say the difference between the two, yes, this is running at 60 frames a second. But at the same time, this is still on the PS4, both games. PS4 native apps, essentially, is what's going on here. I will say this, it depends on the lighting. There is a stylistic view with this game, but you can clearly see that it's a much larger environment. Much larger environment than Second Son. That's New Jersey, by the way, but some things they couldn't render. But look at Manhattan. Like, look at Manhattan. That's pretty fucking good, I must say. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. Too bad though that we couldn't go to but there's a lot of density there, so you gotta give it credit there. Next is the textures. Now I had to slow this down because I didn't want to really spend too much time on the textures, but you can clearly see this. It's flat out, it's more detailed. Spider-Man is more detailed than a 7-year-old Infamous game, but there's no slouch either. You know, the material rendering in Second Son is probably top notch, but yeah, there. Next is water, which is one of my favorite subjects. Now, they have a mesh that moves along with you, which you can clearly see, but why the fuck does it look like gelatin jigglers? Like, it is not good. Even though it's a mesh that's pretty cool, I mean, it is what it is. The splashing is pretty cool, but I don't know if they need to make it move less. I don't know, but here's Second Son. Like literally the shittiest fucking water ever. Out of everything that it does well, water is not its best suits. So it's the same thing with Ghost of Tsushima, which is an updated engine. But that's all I pretty much have. Not much difference in terms of graphics. I think both games check all the same graphical features except for that water. Thank you.